My name is Ken, but my friends call me Ken Dog, and I'm inviting you to join me as I travel down the Mother Road, Route 66. The Rancho Hotel here in Gallup, New Mexico. This place bills it as having the charm of yesterday and the convenience of tomorrow. It's also known to be haunted, they say. I guess I'll find out. However, if you're going to book here, make sure you ask for the hotel wing, because as you see way off in the distance here, they added a motel side. So you can get smaller rooms and stuff that are new-ish compared, but you really want to be in the main building. Speaking of that main building, let's go take a look. Yeah, right off the bat, you could tell this place lives up to the hype. I mean, just look at it. This has got classic written all over it. From the old cigarette machines to those amazing staircases that lead up to the second floor. This place is incredible. It truly does look like it's right out of a Western movie, and I guess that makes sense considering a lot of the stars from the old Westerns would stay here when they were filming those movies back in the day. And this place was built for them and for it, and man, you could just tell. Look at this fireplace. You can actually walk up and in and sit right next to it. It was like 100 degrees outside, so of course they didn't have a fire going the day I was there. But look at the brickwork. This thing is incredible. Just everything here. Right down to the pillows on the chairs, the rugs on the floor, even the longhorns hanging up there. Check that out. Oh, and the old wagon wheel light. That's just so cool. I can't wait to see what my room looks like, so maybe we should go check in and head upstairs. So my room was on the second floor. It was the Elizabeth Scott room. They say that the room names come from those stars that have stayed in these rooms. Yeah, I had no clue who she was, so I had to look her up. According to IMDb, she's got 31 different movie credits, including Desert Fury, which she starred in with Burt Lancaster back in 1947. But check out this room. Again, for somebody my size, that's a small bathroom, but it's still pretty neat. A wannabe rotary phone there. Some pretty cool room decorations here. I love that lamp over there, honestly. I really did, with the arrows. It was quite a nice little room, honestly. Very well decorated. Cozy, but I liked it. I had no complaints. The view out the window left a little bit to be desired, but no big deal on that. And that's the Best Western across the street. Honestly, I think the best Western motel is the one I'm staying in tonight. The walls of the second floor here are covered with photos of stars that have stayed here at the El Rancho. Most of them are signed. I'll be honest, I don't know who half these people are. Probably less than that, honestly. I do recognize Desi and Lucy there, but the rest of these, I really don't. So, but it was still cool just to look at the old photos, and when a face did look familiar to me, like Henry Fonda here. Yeah, I've been listening to the Grapes of Wrath on this trip, so pretty cool. Watched the movie just before I left. But yeah, most of them I don't know who they are, but they're just everywhere. And they also have these really cool display cases with a bunch of different things from different movies that were filmed in the area. But just look at this place. I mean, it is fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous. Man, yeah, it was great. Even as great as that staircase is that they do have an elevator, an old school elevator. Check this thing out. I mean, you literally have to do almost everything manually. So let's see. You got to shut the outer door first. That thing's heavy, and it slams if you're not careful. And you got to shut the inner one. Now you got to shut it all the way. Got to be smarter than the door at times, because if you don't, when you go to hit the button, yeah, you're not going to go anywhere. And I just realized that. You can see the door is not fully shut over there. So I shut it. Now it's shut, and here we go. I'm not a big fan of elevators. I've been stuck in a few, but this one is just really cool. So yep, open the inner door, open the heavy outer door, give it a tug, and there we go. Time to head towards the restaurant and get something to eat. Pretty standard restaurant. They got a good menu here. Most everything is named after old movie stars. I went with a couple appetizers and a couple drinks before calling it a night. The El Rancho Hotel in Gallup, New Mexico. They say it's haunted. I can confirm that at about 2:15 last night, early this morning, something woke me up. I don't know quite what it was. I thought really that I was just sleeping and dreaming it, but according to my sleep tracker, I indeed was awake at 2:15. It was a whooshing noise that lasted about 30 seconds. No idea. I could also hear the air conditioning unit on, so fairly certain it wasn't it. So who knows? Either way, hitting the road. Right as you cross the line from New Mexico into Arizona, man, what a scenery difference. Check out those rocks. This here is overlooking the old Chief Yellow Horse trading post, which I've heard most of the time is closed, as it was that day. But just look at the scenery. Check out those rocks. Look at that. Pretty much literally right next to the Yellow Horse Trading Post is the TP Trading Post. I came through this area way too early for it to be open. I think I was about 2 or 3 hours ahead of its opening time, but it gave me a chance to really just check out the scenery and enjoy nature there. I mean, just look at that. Honestly, the video doesn't do it justice. When you're sitting there, it is almost overwhelming how large those rocks are. It's fantastic. All the different colors that you see through it, especially with that amazing blue sky right there to really make it stand out. Not too far up the road, just inside the Arizona line, you'll find Fort Courage. Fort Courage is, well, an actual fort that was built. It's a replica of the one from the old 60s TV show called F Troop. They built it in the 70s, but it's been abandoned for many years. Honestly, I was quite surprised that it was actually still standing. It's pretty run down. And their gift shop right there actually looks like it ended up being a pancake house and maybe a Taco Bell Express. It didn't take me long to realize that I am not a fan of the portions of Route 66 where you actually have to jump on the interstate. Yeah, I get it. You get to move along a lot quicker, but you just don't get to see as much. Lucky for me, this was my exit, and I wasn't actually on the interstate too long before I was almost to my next stop, which was the Petrified Forest National Park. I made it to Petrified Forest National Park, and that is the Painted Desert out there. Just look at that. Holy cow, that's amazing. Let me show you a little more. I really didn't know what to expect as I've never been to the Painted Desert before, but this was amazing. I mean, just the different layers of colors that you can see in the different formations, just so far out there, from greens to whites to just multiple colors of red, deep reds. It was fantastic. But believe it or not, there was a reason why I was there, and it wasn't to see the Painted Desert per se. It was because this is the only national park that a part of Route 66 used to run through, and I wanted to see that. In Petrified Forest National Park, Route 66 actually used to run right through here. If you see those telephone poles back here, it used to run right alongside it, and you can see I-40 off in the distance out there. This old Studebaker right here sits right where Route 66 used to be. Even though nature has reclaimed this area, man, you can still see, if you really look close, you can see where the lanes used to be. You just gotta look close enough here. So I checked out Google Earth, just curious to see what it would show, and you can clearly see the old lanes here. I am right where that Route 66 marker is there, and you can see the lanes in both directions clearly there. Built in 1950, the Wigwam Motel in Holbrook, Arizona consists of 15 different concrete teepees. They're not wigwams, they are teepees. It was the sixth wigwam village built, and it is one of only three that still exist. The other two being in Cave City, Kentucky, and San Bernardino, California. My next stop was a quick one. It was at Geronimo's Trading Post. They say that this is the world's largest piece of petrified wood. They say that piece standing up there goes quite a ways underground, and all those other pieces around it had once been part of it. I don't know, maybe it's the little kid in me that loves trains still, but I just find something fascinating about driving alongside a train like this, especially out in the middle of nowhere. Just wondering what's on it, where it's going, where it's been. I absolutely love that. Following this train would actually lead me to my next stop just up the road. Looky there, I've made it to the Jackrabbit Trading Post. The Jackrabbit Trading Post and its famous "Here It Is" sign has been open since 1949, and it's quite a popular stop, and the parking lot proved that. This place has just about anything you could imagine, and things that I didn't even know what in the holy world they were, like this right here. Evidently it's some kind of electrical conduit or something, I don't know, but they're quite popular. I've seen them a lot of places along the route. They got some great t-shirts, even some luggage, all sorts of stuff you can get here at the Jackrabbit Trading Post. They're quite famous for their mileage signs right here, so you can get one made up there that tells you exactly how far your house is from the Jackrabbit Trading Post. I loved my stop at the Jackrabbit Trading Post, but man, there was so much more I wanted to see, so I had to hit the road on down Route 66.